guys, welcome back to Income Taxation. This is your tax instructor, Gisrael H. Raz, and in this video, we will discuss about the Minimis Benefits. So we are still discussing Fringe benefits, and the Minimis Benefits are just one of the many Fringe benefits that are granted by the employer to their employees. So if you haven't watched yet the other videos about Fringe benefits, so please do watch it. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe and click the notification bell. So if you're ready, let's start. So we'll define first what is a Fringe benefit. The de minimis benefit. So the term de minimis is a Latin phrase which pertains to minimal or trivial things. So when we say trivial things or minimal things, these benefits are actually benefits whose values are insignificant or minimal. So hence, for income taxation, de minimis benefits means small, minor, insignificant, or negligible values of benefits which are often given by the employers to their employees. So de minimis gifts to employees are not subject to taxation. Generally speaking, when we say de minimis benefits, these are not subject to tax. However, there are certain rules that we should follow when exempting these benefits from taxation, because there are only few items, few things. I think that there are 11 or 12 items which are considered as de minimis benefits, and all the rest, all items which are not part of that list, they are not considered as de minimis benefits, hence taxable. So these are considered as de minimis benefits according to Revenue Regulation 11-2018, so according to the revised regulation. So whether rank and file or managerial or supervisorial employee, the following de minimis benefits shall not be taxable. Okay, number 1 is monetized unused vacation leave credits for private employees, not exceeding 10 days during the year. So for example, if the employer company gives, let's say, 20 days vacation leave. Okay, so every employee, whether rank and file or manager or supervisor, they're given 20 days to be absent. And when we say to be absent, this means that even if they are absent, they are still paid. Okay? For example, I am a rank and file of a company and I am given 15 days of leave, vacation leave. Okay, so I can use that 15 days and I would still get paid. However, there are also companies which gives condition that if they can't use or avail those leave days, okay, they can convert that into money. Meaning after the end of the year, if you have not consumed every day allowed to be absent, you can monetize that. You can convert those days into cash. So, for example, if you are allowed to be absent for 15 days and you have only availed, let's say, 3 days absence in the entire year, then you can convert those 12 remaining days into cash, multiplied by your daily wage. So, if you are a private company, the maximum allowed or a maximum amount allowed to be exempted from income tax is only 10 days. Okay, so if you are given 15 days and then you have not availed any of those days, you are present every day in your work, okay, and after the end of the year, you converted those 15 days into cash by multiplying 15 days times your daily wage, okay, the number of days to be exempted from the tax is only 10 days. Therefore, the excess of that, the 5 days excess, shall be taxable if you are a private employee. However, in the second de minimis, we have here monetized value of vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees. So unlike the first de minimis, for private employees, they only have 10 days maximum non-taxable amount. So any excess of those 10 days shall be taxable. And take note, this is a vacation leave credits. However, for the second one, there is no limit. So if you are a government employee and you are given 30 days, for example, to be absent, that is vacation and sick leave, the entire amount is non-taxable. For example, if you are an employee of a government agency and you're allowed to have 15 days vacation leave and you're also allowed another 15 days for sick leave, okay, and you have not availed any of those days, meaning you are present for the entire year, the 30 days allowance were never availed for absences, and you convert these 30 days into cash at the end of the year, then those amount are never taxable. There is no limit. However, if you are a private employee, the exempt portion shall only be the vacation leave and the maximum of 10 days. All the rest, the sick leave and the excess days shall be taxable. Because again, for private employees, only vacation leave, maximum of 10 days. Question: how about if the employee really took the leave? For example, out of 15 days maximum allowance, he really availed those 15 days. Then there's nothing to monetize because the whole allowance, the whole 15 days allowance for absences was availed. So therefore, there's nothing to monetize here. We are talking here of the unused vacation leave or sick leave, and we convert this into cash. Okay. So the third de minimis, we have medical cash allowance to dependents of the employees not exceeding 1,500 pesos per employee per semester or 6 months, or 250 pesos per month. So for example, if the employer extends medical allowance to the dependents of the employee, for example, you are the employee and you have children, and then your employer grants, let's say, 2,000 pesos per semester allowance to your children, then the 1,500 there is non-taxable and the 500 excess is taxable. We also have here rice subsidy of 2,000 pesos or 1 sack of 50 kilogram rice per month, amounting to not more than 2,000 pesos. So if your employer company, whether you are rank and file or manager, gives you a monthly rice subsidy, let's say a 50 kilogram sack of rice, and then this is, let's say, jasmine rice, which costs more than 2,000. Let's say it's 4,000, for example, or 3,000, for example. So the first 2,000 per month is exempt, while the excess, the 1,000 excess, shall be subject to tax. Next, we have uniform and clothing allowance not exceeding 6,000 per annum. So it is normal for companies to give uniform allowance to their employees. For example, if you're a teacher like us, we are given free uniform every year. So this, again, is a de minimis benefit and are non-taxable provided that the total amount of the uniform and clothing allowance did not exceed 6,000 pesos per annum. So if you are given a total of 10,000 per year for your uniform allowance, the first 6,000 is non-taxable, while the excess 4,000 shall be taxable. We also have here actual yearly medical benefits not exceeding 10,000 per year per annum. For example, if your employer gives you an allowance of 10,000 for your medical, assistance. Let's say you are required to go to physicians for checkups or whatever. Okay, so provided that the amount given do not exceed 10,000 per year, then that is non-taxable also. By the way, this actual yearly medical benefits is different from the previous one that I mentioned. Those medical benefits given to the dependents of the employee, which is 1,500 per semester. We also have laundry allowance that exceeding 300 pesos per month. So if you are an employee and your employer gives you a laundry allowance of 300 per month, then that is non-taxable. Any excess, let's say you're given 325 pesos per month, then the 300 is exempted, while the 25 pesos excess per month shall be subject to tax. We also have here employees achievement awards, which must be in the form of tangible personal property other than cash or gift certificate, with an annual monetary value not exceeding 10,000 received by the employee under an established written plan which does not discriminate in favor of highly paid employees. So, any achievement awards, for example, if the employees will be given, let's say, any award, no? And then this award shall be considered as the minimis benefits if it is in form of tangible personal property, which means anything, it's in kind other than cash. It should not be in cash or gift certificate. Because if this award given is in form of cash or gift certificate, then that would entirely be taxable. So always remember that employee achievement award should be intangible, or in the form of tangible personal property, not cash, not gift certificate. And the value of which should be not exceeding 10,000 pesos per year. So if you are given a tangible property, and then let's say food, and then the value is 11,000 per year, then the first 10,000 is exempted, while the excess 1,000 is taxable. And we have also here gifts given during Christmas and major anniversary celebrations not exceeding 5,000 per employee per annum. So aside from the 13th month pay, it is normal that employers would give their employees some gifts, some Christmas gifts. Anything or any Christmas gifts or any gifts given during major anniversary celebrations are considered the minimis benefits, provided that the amount do not exceed 5,000 pesos. Otherwise, the excess of over 5,000 shall be taxable. And we also have here daily meal allowance for overtime work not exceeding 25% of the basic minimum wage. So for example, you are required to work overtime, let's say from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the office, because you are rushing things, there's a deadline, and you are given, let's say, a value meal, okay, because you're working overtime, so you're given free meals. Those meals can only be considered as non-taxable if the value of such meal do not exceed 25% of his daily minimum wage. So if the person is receiving 500 pesos as minimum wage, then 25% of that 500 pesos is 112.50. Am I right? Yes, it's 112.50. So the value of such meal cannot exceed 112.50. That's 25% of the basic daily minimum wage that that person is receiving. So for example, if you're given two-piece chicken, Jollibee value meal, that's C2. Two-piece chicken C2 is worth, I think, 160 pesos or 156 pesos. Let's assume it's 160 pesos. So that means that there is an excess. Okay, so if you are the person receiving basic daily minimum wage of 500, then 25% of that is 112.50. But the value of the meal given to you is worth 160 pesos. Therefore, 160 pesos minus 112.50, that is 47.50, right? So that 47.50 shall be taxable. The excess of the worth of the value meal given to the employee over the 25% of the basic daily minimum wage is taxable. And finally, we have benefits received by an employee by virtue of a collective bargaining agreement or CBA and productivity incentive schemes, provided that the total annual monetary value received from both CBA and productive incentive schemes combined do not exceed 10,000. So, aside from the 13th month pay bonuses or the mid-year bonuses, there are also some instances wherein the employer would give extra bonus. We call this productivity incentives. You know, if the employees are really doing well, the management, the company would feel that. The company would know that these people are really doing well because it will affect it will affect the net income, of course. So if the company would notice that these employees are really doing well, as in result we have a very good net income this year, the employer could give a productivity bonus or incentives. Again, these are non-taxable provided that the amount do not exceed 10,000 pesos. Otherwise, if it is more than 10,000, the excess of that will be taxable. Okay, so those are the de minimis benefits. Okay, if you can still recall, I hope you can still recall some of them. So you'll be asking, okay, we have the minimis benefits. I think it's 11 items. What would happen to those amounts which is in excess of the limits of the statutory limits? Okay, so these amounts in excess of the minimum or maximum limit of the de minimis benefits shall be added together, combined together, and will be treated under the 90,000 threshold. So we have here an illustration. So Chassis, during the year 2019, received the following benefits. Okay? First, basic monthly salary of Chassis was 30,000 pesos per month. Next, we have overtime pay during the year, that is 15,000 pesos. And medical benefits, 25,000 per year. Monetized leave credits, vacation, 13 days. So Chassis was allowed to be absent for 13 days, but she never absent. She never filed a leave and monetize this allowance instead to cash. Also, sick leave, and then that's 15,000. She was also given rice subsidy, isa na living rice, that's 2,300 per month. Also, she was given laundry allowance of 270 pesos per month. Also, Chassis received a Christmas cash gift amounting to 12,000 a year this year, and then a performance-based bonus under the CBA, which is 20,000 pesos, and then also employee achievement awards in kind. So this award is in kind, so meaning it can be grocery or any tangible property. amounting 12,000, and then uniform allowance 8,000, 13th month pay 50,000, grocery allowance per month 3,000, and mandatory contributions also we have 25,000 for the entire year, and we are going to compute for the taxable income of chassis. So there are a lot of things given here. You can pause this video and solve the problem on your own, and then go back to this video and find out which if you get the correct answer. Okay, you can pause this video actually. Okay, so there are two assumptions here. First assumption is that chassis is an employee of a private company. And the second assumption is when chassis is a government employee. So we will first solve the problem under the assumption that chassis is an employee of a private company. So here, chassis received basic salary of 30,000 per month. So we will multiply that by 12 months. She also received overtime pay of 15,000, and she also received 13-month pay and other benefits. So we have first the de minimis benefits. Number one, medical benefits. So again, in the previous discussion, we mentioned that the actual yearly medical allowance is only exempted to the extent of 10,000. So any excess of that is taxable. So in our case, there's an excess 15,000, and that is taxable. The first 10,000 is exempted, while the excess 15,000 is taxable. We also have here monetized leave credits. First, vacation. So again, chassis was allowed to be absent for 13 days, but she never filed a leave for an absence, and instead convert this to cash. So she received 13,000. That 13,000 represents the 13 days allowance. That means 1,000 per day, right? So if you are a private employee, again, the law said or provides that you can be exempted from the income tax, provided that the total monetized vacation leave credits unused should not exceed 10 days. But in our case, it's 13 days. So therefore, the excess 3 days is taxable. So that's 3 days times 1,000. Okay? Moreover, there was a sick leave, monetized sick leave. So chassis was allowed to be absent in case she would be sick, but chassis did not get sick. So she converted the maximum days, the 15 days, to cash. And if you are a private employee, this is not exempted. Therefore, the entire amount, the 15,000, is taxable. Chassis also received rise subsidy of 2,300 per month, and we know that the exemption limit is only up to 2,000. Therefore, the 300 excess shall be subject to tax. That's 300 times 12 months. Laundry allowance. We know that the maximum exemption limit for laundry allowance is 300 pesos, and chassis was given 270 pesos per month. Therefore, there is no excess. So that's zero. Chassis also received Christmas cash gift. It's 12,000 per year, but the maximum exemption limit is only 5,000. So hence, there's an excess, 7,000. Also, chassis received Employment Achievement Awards in kind. Remember that Employee Achievement Awards are non-taxable provided that such award is in a form of any tangible property or in kind. If that award is in form of cash or gift certificate, then the entire amount is taxable. But in our problem, the awards is in kind. Therefore, it's exempted. However, the exemption is only up to 10,000. So, chassis received 12,000, therefore the excess 2,000 is taxable. Aside from those, chassis was also given uniform allowance of 8,000. So, the maximum exemption limit is only 6,000. Therefore, there was an excess 2,000. Also, chassis received performance-based bonus. this is under the CBA. Okay, so that's 20,000, and the maximum exemption limit is 10,000 only. So therefore, the excess 10,000 shall be subject to tax. We also have here non-de minimis benefits. Number one is grocery. The grocery allowance is not part of those things that I've mentioned a while ago. So therefore, this is non-de minimis benefits. Therefore, the entire 3,000 per month is taxable. So that's 3 times 12. We have 36,000. Also the 13th month pay. So if you will add this together, the total 13th month pay and other benefits is equal to 143,600 pesos. And as we said earlier, that after you have deducted the maximum limit, after you subject all those de minimis benefits to their maximum limit, the excess amounts are taxable only if they exceed the 90,000 threshold. In our case, it's 143,600 pesos. So therefore, the excess 53,600 is taxable. So this amount, this 53,000, that's 143,600 minus 90, shall be added to our gross compensation, so that this will be subject to the regular tax. So a total of 428,600. So this is now our total compensation income subject to tax. And we will deduct the mandatory contributions, the SS, Pag-ibig and PhilHealth, that's 25,000. Therefore, our net taxable compensation income is 403,600 pesos. Okay, so that is the net income of Chassis as a private employee. So that will be also the basis of our tax. So under the second assumption, Chassis is a government employee, and again, we will have the same 360 overtime pay, 13th month pay, and then same amount as what we have discussed earlier. But the difference here is that the monetized leave credits, the vacation and sick leave, are both exempted. Because again, Chassis in this particular assumption is a government employee. Hence, the vacation and sick leave are all exempted from the tax. All the rest are the same. Okay, so it's the same as what we have discussed earlier. It's the same. We also have here uniform allowance, performance-based bonus, non-de minimis benefits. Again, this is the same to what we have discussed earlier. And then a total of 125,600. So again, in this particular assumption, it is lower compared to the other first assumption because the monetized sick leave and vacation leave are never subject to tax if you are a government employee. And then we have the limit of 90,000. The 125,000 shall be deducted by 90,000. Therefore, the excess 35,600 shall be considered as really part to our gross income subject to tax. Therefore, our total compensation income subject to tax is 410,600, and we'll also deduct the SS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth of 25,000, and then our total net taxable compensation income is now 385,600. So basically, the difference between the assumption 2 and assumption 1 lies on the monetized sick leave and vacation leave, because again, if you are a private employee, you're only allowed to be exempt from your monetized unused vacation leave, and maximum only of 10 days. But for sick leave, you are never entitled to exemption if you are a private employee. If you're a government employee, you're exempted from both sick leave and vacation leave without maximum days. The entire amount shall be exempted from the tax. So our major observations, again, the minimis benefits are subject to their individual statutory limits. So before you consider this de minimis as whether exempted or not, ask yourself first, is this de minimis benefit one of those or belong to those list which is exempted from the tax, those 11 items. If not, then the entire amount is taxable. Otherwise, if the answer is yes, if that de minimis benefit is one of those things listed, one of those 11 items, therefore it's exempted, provided that they do not exceed their maximum limit. Because if they exceed their maximum limit, then any excess of the de minimis shall be added to the 13th month pay and other benefits and shall be again subject to 90,000 limit. Okay? So, more importantly, private and government employees differ only in the monetized leave credits. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching this entire video and I hope you learned something from this. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay, thank you for watching.